what is the most powerful to me is to on a daily basis learn about the significance of the moment. And as I was saying, I think it has meant something to me to think about daily those people who have brought me to a point where I could see the depth of what feelings can do even when cognition is damaged. So, and I think about this one gentleman who was brought into the hospital, geriatric, psychiatric setting, because of behavior problems, because of the illness. And by some objective definition, which we all go by, we would say that he was in the middle stages of Alzheimer's disease, whatever that means. And this gentleman could not, recognize perhaps always where he was, what he was doing, didn't necessarily recognize on a daily basis the nurses, etc., people that had taken care of him, and did have some combative behavior. And he and I sat for a spell in this day room, looking out at the window and talking about the field and what they were working on in the field and in the harvest, etc. And of course what we were really looking at was a brick wall. But I could see it just like he could see it. And as we talked, and we spent some time talking about the harvest and the beauty of nature, he looked at me and he said, "You know, it brought $40. And I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah." He said that was the last thing. And there was such power in his statement. We talked about the grief of letting things go. And I found out later that he had just moved to a nursing home, that his farm had been auctioned. And this is a man that did not have living children. He had one child, a son that died at the age of 4. And all these years he had kept one thing of that boy's, and it was the desk. And it brought $40 at the auction. And I think to myself, we could either see the combative behavior, we can see psychosis, or we can see a man who's trying to resolve 40 years worth of grief, about losing a child. And how wonderful it was to just be in that moment with that person. And when we see the deficits, when we see the losses, we lose the beauty. And obviously there's a raft of other people who I think about.
My brush speaks. The vibrant language of color and form probes my memory, captures my thoughts, awakens my mind to the beauty of life. Listen. Listen to my canvas. My words are absent, but my brush speaks.
Memories in the Making is about communication. It's about expression. It's about connections that aren't always obvious in this journey we call Alzheimer's. The stories that emerge from these paintings are so full of emotion, so full of life, the life that these artists have led. Some paintings speak to their childhoods, some to their passions. Even when Alzheimer's robs us of so many things, the essence of these artists remains. Connecting with that essence is what Memories in the Making is all about.
My mother, in her mind and in ours, was a piano player. Now, she would never, ever have grasped the idea that she was an artist because her memory did not permit her to do that. After caring for my mother, I really began to understand the depth of what this Memories in the Making program was about. Because I was able to grow into that understanding with my mother, and that turned out to be a really precious journey. She couldn't describe to us the things that were going on, except in the realm of a very deep yearning and a dark, just missing of life as it was. And so that was very, very painful for us in our verbal dialogue with her. But what emerged in her paintings was just vibrant color. If I were to go into a museum of famous paintings, that were even recognizable to me from art history classes and coffee table books, they would not have had the impact that these paintings had on me. And that's because I could go from painting to painting, and I could begin looking at the shapes, the colors, the subjects, even the direction of the brushstrokes, and you could start seeing stories just speaking out of the picture. It became an acquaintance with the real lives of people who have left amazing legacies of accomplishments, and that's what speaks in those paintings. And it is more than an event. It truly is a moment to appreciate the contribution in the lives of people who can no longer tell you about that.